Hey, I'm Michael.
And I'm Allison.
Today we have the Lee Silverman Voice Treatment that we'll be demonstrating, and this treatment is used for patients with Parkinson's disease and for patients with dysarthria.
Yeah, and there are two types of the Lee Silverman Voice Treatment. There is big and loud. Big is primarily used for physical therapists and occupational therapists, and loud is used for speech therapists. The Lee Silverman Voice Treatment loud is a progressive treatment, so you would start with a little something like ah, and then you would eventually build into functional words and phrases and sentences to use in your everyday life. All right, and so we're going to demonstrate that now. So, Michael, I want you to sit up big and tall and take a deep breath and say ah for as long and as loud as you can. All right, that was good. Do you think you can make it any louder?
Sure, I can try.
Okay. All right, okay. And so now we're going to do, we're going to start really low and then work our way up to high. So it's going to sound like ah. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
That was good. All right. And now we're going to go from the really high where we just ended and go back down to low. So it's going to sound like ah.
Ah.
That was good. Can you do it a little louder?
I can try.
Okay.
Ah.
That was good. All right. Okay. Do you want to pause this and then? So at the first part of the treatment, we focused on using ah and rising and falling intonation. Those things are necessary to practice because it really helps mimic speech patterns, which is necessary for building on top of the next part of treatment, which is functional words, phrases, and sentences. Now, Mychael has chosen day as her functional word to practice. All right. So, Mychael, I want you to try saying day as loud as you can.
Day, 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 day.
All right, that was good. So now we're going to use it in a functional phrase, and we're going to try using beautiful day as a good phrase. All right?
Beautiful day.
All right, could you say it again, but just a little bit louder?
Beautiful day.
All right, that was good, but let's practice it one more time with that same loudness.
Beautiful day.
All right, that was good. So now we're going to use that phrase and build it into a sentence. All right, so can you say, it's a beautiful day?
It's a beautiful day.
All right, I liked how loud you were, but let's make it just a little bit louder.
It's a beautiful day.
All right, I liked the loudness. Now let's practice it again just like that.
It's a beautiful day.
All right, that was wonderful. Thank you.
So for this type of treatment also, the speech pathologist will usually give the patient home exercises to complete. So it kind of generalizes over from therapy to home. And typically all the ahs like we did in the first session will be carried throughout the entire treatment. So even when they start to progress to like words and sentences, they still have to work on their breathing and their ahs. And typically the patient is told to watch themselves in the mirror to make sure they're getting that full breath and really getting really full in their lungs to be able to produce loud and clear ahs and speech.
Some exercises that the patient might do at home include yawn sighs, which is more practice breathing. Basically, the patient would just sigh like, ah, because oftentimes patients with Parkinson's disease will have a really gravelly voice when they try to breathe and produce speech. So it's very important for them to practice that. Right.
So as we said before, this treatment is typically used for patients with Parkinson's disease and dysarthria. And sometimes those patients their speech will get slurred or they will have very, very quiet speech. And so it'd be really hard to understand them. So this treatment specifically helps them to be louder and clearer to help with their speech intelligibility and in everyday life.
And this treatment is mainly used for older adults, but it can also be used for patients with cerebral palsy or Huntington's disease. Even though we did this demonstration in a timely manner, this therapy can stretch out over a period of weeks. It just depends on the severity and disorder type of your patient.
Thanks for watching.
You.